Welcome to the Business Owner Spotlight Series. My name is Gabriel Moore. I am senior partner here at Action Coach Vanguard in Central Iowa. Today, I have TJ Rude, the owner of Northern Vessel, as my guest. We're going to be talking about his business, journey to business ownership, challenges, best practices, and share a peek into what it's really like to build and operate a business. If this is your first time on the channel, please be sure to like and subscribe, get notifications when we drop new conversations just like this one. TJ, man, welcome, and thank you so much for being here today. Give us a brief overview of your background and tell us a little bit about your business.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here. Great to be talking with you today. So I grew up in Johnston, just about 15 minutes north of Des Moines. I was homeschooled actually growing up, and went to private school during my high school years. Really small school, K through 12. So that was a little bit of a unique
K
experience.
through 12, that's
Yeah, you
all
would
the way
walk down the
through.
halls and see kindergartners. It was kind of a weird experience, but an experience nonetheless. So yeah, I went to DMAC for a couple of years, and really that the entire time I had a very difficult time figuring out what I wanted to do. I tried a bunch of things, tried to do some electrical work. I traveled a little while, and it really took me a while to discover who I was and kind of direction I wanted to go. And everything really changed when I moved to just south of LA. And I lived there for about 6 months. But I would say that kind of the course of my life really changed during that time. And what defined it was I started working at a coffee shop at the last 2 months I lived there.
LA is a little different than Des Moines, right?
A little different.
Just a little bit.
It was sunny every single day for 6 months.
Oh my
It was
God.
perfect. I thought it was a great idea to move back in November, late November. I don't know why I did that, but I entered the cold, and I was like, "What? I should stay at least 4 or 5 more months. I would have been a lot better
That
off."
means a part of you really just loves the snow. A part of you really
Yes,
loves the cold.
I guess
That's the
so.
Midwest in us, right? I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's right. That's right.
All right. To set the stage for the viewers, tell us a little bit about what role you currently play in the business.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, I started Northern Vessel in 2019, and it's gone through different stages, and I'm sure maybe we'll get into that. But right now, I am really focusing on operations, and so I don't work behind the bar at our coffee shop. I'm not scheduled anymore, but I go there every day to make sure things are running smoothly. And then we are working on a number of initiatives within the business for growth. And so I am really spearheading those initiatives.
I am crazy excited for you right now. Not many business owners seem to have a really solid plan in place like you're seeming to have at the moment. And this is, I am addicted to success in other people. And so right away, it's already kind of exuding. It's like, man, all right, this guy's might have something going. So, um, okay, so that actually will lead great into the next question. So when you look at your role, how many hours do you think you spend in your business? You know, like the
Yep.
job, making coffee, managing people.
Yep.
How often do you think you work on the business, those strategies that you were talking about, those initiatives that you're trying to execute?
That's actually something I've been thinking about a lot, even since the new year started, was how do I want that breakdown? And so right now it's about a fifth of the time is in the business. So every morning between 7:30 and 9:30, typically, I am at the shop, kind of straightening things up, seeing how the staff's doing. This morning, I went in. I was going to grab a coffee before doing some errands to pick some things up for the shop, and it was very busy. So I stepped behind the bar and I helped for a little bit until more support got there. But I give myself those 2 hours every single morning to do what's ever needed in the shop.
Okay.
And then I spend a couple more hours outside of that doing, and I still do payroll myself.
Okay.
I'll be uploading that soon, but that's a pretty easy task how it's set up. So I usually do that. And then I'll spend a few more hours kind of working on if there's anything that need to be ordered. I have someone doing inventory, but these are more things like bigger projects that we're working on that need to be ordered. So
Okay.
I would say between 10 to 15 hours consistently a week is on like, or actually in the business. And I typically work 60 hours a week consistently.
Yeah.
And so the rest of the time is on the business.
Wow. That's really good. It means that you're on your way to being a true business owner, rather than an owner operator like most of us are. And it's something that we strive to help business owners achieve, right? I mean, that's the goal of Action Coach, actually, is to help them achieve business ownership,
Yep.
when many times they own a job rather than a business.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's move on to what makes your business so special.
absolutely.
So
So
go
go ahead.
ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I was ready to get going on it. This has been a big passion for us. I think it's taken a little bit of time to figure out what is that thing. And I think
Yeah.
there's a number of components, but the biggest differentiator, I think, in my mind is hospitality. In the coffee world, and I would even say in the restaurant world, this might be a little bit controversial, a little bit of a hot take, but I think we've really lost the hospitality piece in the hospitality industry. I think that and I think the reason is pretty clear. It's really hard to take care of people all day, every day. It's really hard to deal with difficult customers. It's really hard to serve a consistent product. It's hard to do that 365 days a year. And it's easy to become cynical. It's easy to get grouchy. It's easy to have that wear and tear affect you in the way that you interact with people. And so one thing that has really shaped our entire model, and we're not perfect, and I'm pretty clear about that with our team and with customers, like, this is an ongoing process, but our goal is to provide the best hospitality that we can. So we don't view it as the coffee is the most important thing. We don't view it as the seating or the music is the most important thing. We think that the experience is the most important thing. And so if the experience is the most important thing, that means that the coffee needs to be really good. If the experience is the most important thing, that means that the service and how we take care of people needs to be excellent. It also means that the chairs and the seating and the music levels all need to be fluid and in unity. And our
That's all part of
seating
that experience.
is
Yeah.
all part of that experience. And if one of those pieces is missing or is lacking, it's going to hurt the experience.
That's right. That's right. This is I you're talking a lot of things that a lot of business owners don't pay attention to and may not even know. A lot of them, I don't want to say a lot of them, but many of them, they don't even know this kind of stuff. Um, so I'm going to deviate a little bit.
Yeah.
Where did you learn trial? Couldn't have been trial and error. You're talking about some things that are really more advanced in small business. Do you have is there any credit that you'd like to give to that, or maybe a book that you've read or anything like that, or what do you got?
I think that our perspective is shaped by a lot of things. It's shaped by a lot of perspective or a lot of experiences. It's shaped by a lot of both positive and negative experiences, by
Yeah.
things we hear, by things we don't hear, in terms
Yeah.
of someone maybe talking negatively versus someone talking positively. And I think that my perspective has just been shaped by a wide variety of experiences. So when
Okay.
I was in LA, I began to notice there was some shops that seemingly were the same as another shop, but that shop would be doing far better. And so that put my attention of what is different.
Yeah.
You could look at
Intriguing,
and
right?
say, it's intriguing. Okay, these are very similar. What makes them different? And then I started paying attention to shops that have been incredibly successful, and what makes that shop successful. There's a book, actually, it's on my shelf there. It's called Unreasonable Hospitality, by Will Guidara. It's my favorite book of all time. I read it last year, and this has driven the point home that everything has to do with hospitality. And it's whether you're in the restaurant industry or not, the way you treat people and the way you go above and beyond, it makes all the difference. And so I think for me, it's been really like seeing with my own eyes the places that are incredibly successful versus the places that aren't. It all
Mhm.
has to do typically with your perspective
Mhm.
and what you focus on and what the most important thing is that you focus on.
And it's probably resulting also, or you're probably also seeing the results of your hard work on hospitality.
Yeah.
You're seeing growth. You're seeing change in your organization, right? I mean, that's what a better conclusive end to a position that you're taking in the world, you know, where hospitality is important.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing because it's working.
Yeah.
Let me ask another question. So, hospitality, do you guys have a unique selling proposition? Do you have a specific slogan or anything that you guys use in regards to hospitality or anything like that?
We do have a slogan. It's not maybe used as much as some slogans are used, but
Okay.
the slogan is forward together.
Forward
And the
together, forward
forward together.
together.
And
Yeah, okay.
the idea with it is that everything, well, when we first when we first came up with it, I had a number of people saying, "Is that like a political like slogan?" Keep thinking like, no, it's not. And I'm like, actually, a buddy and I, we came up with it, and I was like, if that's what's being compared to, I guess that's pretty good for a couple of guys just trying.
It's
So
not bad. It's not bad.
that's beside
Not
the
at
point.
all.
Any that's beside the point. But it's forward together because the idea is that we're pretty ambitious, and but we don't want to take those steps and those points of growth and leave people in the dust.
Yeah.
We want to take people in their consideration always with everything we do. And so we want people to feel like, man, they're really a part of something. And so when we make something new, when we create something, often what I'll do is I'll walk around the shop and talk to regulars and say, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think about this?
Nice.
And my
Nice.
staff has picked us up on that a lot as well. And so we just talk about stuff with our customers
That's
often
so good. That's so
and
good.
get their feedback. And sometimes they have received, or they've given incredible feedback, and we've done it. And it's like, can I give you a quick example? I don't want to go too off
No,
the rails.
please. Yeah, no, this is fantastic. This is 100% involvement inclusion. We love this stuff. Go ahead.
So we had kind of a dilemma with our pastries.
Okay.
So we don't make pastries in house, and the company or the business that was making our pastries, they're a small business and they're incredible. Their pastries are amazing, super delicious. But there's a few issues. One was that they were about 40 minutes or so away from us, and so delivering, that was a big challenge.
Rough. Yeah.
Secondly, they were not able to deliver every day. And
Okay.
so there are some pastries, they would taste fine later on, but we didn't really feel great about that, right? And so we had this dilemma of how do we navigate this food option, right? We're not gonna be a sandwich and soup shop. We determined that a long time ago. So what do we do? So as much as we liked this bakery, we said, we have to kind of think about some other options. So we started asking some of our customers. And there was one customer who brought in a donut from this one popular donut spot.
Okay.
And it kind of dawned on us. We're like, coffee and donuts, that's a novel, what a novel idea,
Who would have
And
thought?
who would have thought? And we started asking around and saying, what if we got donuts? What would you think about that? I would get samples and I would cut them up in little slices and I would take them to customers and say, hey, try this. What do you think? And
Wow.
we said, okay, let's do it. And so we talked to the donut shop, and they said, we can deliver to you at the time of open every single day of the week. And I said, okay, let's
That's
do
a
it.
plus.
So we started on Wednesday, and we started with 4 dozen, ran out by like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I bet.
And then we did another 4 dozen. Oh no, I think we did 6 dozen yesterday, and we ran out, like, it was great. We ran out close to the end of the day. And then we
Oh
did
my
6
gosh.
dozen today, and we ran out by 9:45. And it's cool because it feels like this was an idea that we knew there was going to be some people who were being upset because the other pastries were awesome. So
Sure.
we started asking, okay, what do you guys think about this? And it's been cool to see we make this change, and then immediately it just pops off. And it
You know,
seems to be a perfect fit for us.
yeah, business ownership is about making some hard decisions sometimes.
Yeah.
And you really, unfortunately, can't please everyone with a decision, especially if it's a decision that's kind of polarizing, like donuts or pastries or something like that. And I'm not saying that is it's out of my field, it's out of my pay grade for that, but business ownership really does have hard decisions to make, and it comes with a lot of responsibility. And it gives you just a new challenge to figure out how to please the ones that aren't so pleased about the change, right?
But I would say that involvement was one example that we've already seen the benefit. We've already reaped the benefits of including people, because if we would have said, hey, we're just going to make this decision and deal with it,
Yeah.
that was our tone, I don't think it would have been going as well as it is.
Yeah, probably not. And you've also got you've basically turned your customers into part of your team, and that's big brain stuff right there. Which actually kind of leads me a little bit to marketing. That's a really good marketing strategy, by the way. But all business owners have to figure out marketing. All businesses have to figure out marketing. And marketing just means telling potential customers what you do, right? I mean, that's all it is in the most bare bone way. What is your number one marketing strategy that's brought you the most business?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it's something that we're really trying to lean into. Our main form of marketing is just on Instagram, and we've hired a photographer who does all of our photos, and we've grown that over time. And we've just tried to be consistent. So every day we post, and we try to make it really curated we want people to look at our Instagram feed and be able to really get a sense of who we are and what the feel and the vibe of the shop is going to be.
Very good.
And we're not really on any other platform. We're on Facebook, and because the two, Instagram and Facebook, link, and so when we post, it just goes to Facebook.
Oh, sure. Yep.
We're not really spending a lot of time on any other platform, and we're doing that because we want to focus and zero in on one and figure it out and do it really well before spreading ourselves too thin.
Outstanding.
So that's our primary source right now.
Okay. Instagram really does do well with restaurants, especially when you can take pictures of what you're serving. As human beings, we tend to gravitate towards images that are delicious. It just places it in our mind, and we could practically taste it through the picture, right? Through the images. Instagram's done a great job of capturing many restaurants, coffee shops, pastry shops, things like that. We spent a bunch of time focused on the business, TJ, and I wanted to give you an option to kind of dive into your journey a little bit. When you moved out to LA, like, what was the defining moment that you chose to be like, you know what, I'm just going to do this myself? What was that like? What was that transition like?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, I kind of mentioned earlier that I felt a little bit out of place. I didn't really know what I wanted to do.
By the way, I can relate to that. You like nobody's business. I can relate.
Sure. For sure. I think a lot of entrepreneurs can resonate with that.
That's right.
I felt like I hit a point where I didn't have a choice. I felt like either I'm just going to work dead-end jobs, or I'm going to have to create something myself. And when I started working in coffee, I feel like it was the best combination of creativity with it being enough business. Like, there was enough business element to it that I was like, I think it can do both. If it was too creative, I'm not. I am creative minded, but not in a traditional sense. So not with like video or writing or any of those forms of creativity.
You got a good balance, right? I mean, that's kind of what you were looking for.
That's what I was looking for. And I feel like the coffee industry had that balance that I was wanting. And so when I found that, I was like, I don't think I have a choice. I think I have to do this. So it was, as simple as that, I guess.
It really, when you get to that point, I honestly, I can seriously relate to the whole situation. I think many entrepreneurs are like that. It sounds like you might have been a little younger. For me, my entrepreneurship didn't start until much later. And so you do kind of feel like you don't have a choice. You got to either do this or bust, right? Or go work for someone, and then you might be unhappy and so on and so forth. Let's see here. So going through that challenge, starting that up, you started as a cart, right? Was that the first?
Yep.
Okay. So going through that challenge, starting as a cart, now you've got a store. What impact did that choice that you made have on your growth as a business owner?
I would say that between 2019 and 2021, I was forced to grow in ways, but I would say that even though, so I'm 30 now,
Mhm.
and in between 2019 and early 2021, I felt like I was really, really insecure. And I felt like I was a little bit late in my development of some skills that were necessary for the position I was in. And I think ultimately I did close down for a little bit in 2021, going into 2022. And I think that a big piece of that was that I needed to grow up a little bit. I needed to mature in ways that I had not matured to that point.
Heck yeah,
And
man.
and so I think that in order to open up the shop and to be where we're at, I think that I still was fighting a lot of immaturity. And I would say, and maybe not immaturity is the right word, but I would say a little bit of uncontrolled ambition,
Okay.
where I wanted to grow, I wanted to be fast, I wanted to move quickly, which is the benefit of being small.
Mhm.
If you don't have the right infrastructure, it can really hurt you.
Yeah.
And I think it's taken me a little bit of time to learn patience, of how to be patiently aggressive is kind of a term I've thought about a lot,
Like
where
it.
you're waiting on the blocks. If you're gonna be in a race, you're waiting on the blocks, ready for
Yeah.
to go off, and if you go too early, you can get disqualified. If you go too late, you're gonna lose.
Yeah. No, I love it. It's a great analogy.
And so that is, I think, one of the things I've had to learn and become more proficient at is that sense of, okay, I want to do this, but I want to do it really well. And so I'm going to give myself 6 months instead of 6 weeks.
I got to tell you, TJ, on behalf of all the audience and myself, we really do appreciate your vulnerability because when honesty and communication meet, it is one of the most powerful forces on the planet, in my opinion. And it helps out those people that might be going through the same thing, but maybe they don't want to be vulnerable. Maybe they don't want to expose that what they might think is a weakness, right? And so for you to be vulnerable on the here like this, that screams a lot about you as your character. No, really just well done on that respect.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. So as we wrap up, we covered a lot of ground in our conversation today. I can't wait to try some of your coffee.
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to visiting the store.
absolutely.
But for those who are watching, I highly encourage you to save this and come back a few times. A lot of great stuff. You can really learn a little bit about communication and being vulnerable. I think that was really powerful. And as we begin to wrap up, TJ, I got a few rapid fire questions for
Good.
you. All
Let's
right.
do
And
it.
these are quick top of the head answers. So one
Yeah.
word or one sentence.
Okay.
You ready?
Okay. Ready. Let's do
Let's
it.
rock it. What is the key to success for you?
Excellence and simplicity.
I love it. What is your one piece of advice for other business owners?
Surround yourself with people that are much smarter than you.
Let's go. Come on. All right. What is one book you're reading right now or have read most recently?
Yeah, I would say The Unreasonable Hospitality.
Heck yeah. Heck
Can I
yeah.
throw one more in there? So that one was one of the books I recommend the most. But I'm in the middle of one. It's
Hit
called
me.
it's called $100 Million Offers by
Brilliant book.
yes, yeah.
Alex
So
Ramosi.
second time through it. Yep.
Ah, nice. Okay. Yeah, it's one of those like, hey, this one's worth studying, right? Have you read $100 Million Leads or $1
I'm
million
so
Leads?
Yeah. So I started it and I was like, I think I need to go back through offers. It's
Yeah.
like, because I'm doing audiobook and it's a little bit harder to digest
Oh,
over.
okay. Yeah, for sure.
So I'm reading offers one more time before going back to leads. Yeah.
He does a really great job of simplifying the concept. I'm proud to have read it, and I can't wait to see where that goes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, if you could had to choose only one area of your business you could immediately improve tomorrow, what would it be?
Operational efficiency.
Operational efficiency. That's a good one. All right, before we get into the final question of the day, TJ, how can others learn more about you or your company, and how can they get in contact?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can reach my email at tjrude, it's TJRUDE at northernvessel.co, so .co. Or you can look me up just on Instagram, it's TJ_Rude. Or you can look at Northern Vessel, it's just at Northern Vessel on Instagram. And either of those ways you can find me or find Northern Vessel.
Okay. Yeah. Last question.
Yeah.
What is most inspiring to you today?
That's a great question. I think that failing forward. I think that there's experiencing failure and feeling, like we failed in this area, but we're still here, like we're still alive. And we have an opportunity to learn from that failure and do a better job next time.
Absolutely wonderful. TJ, I just wanted to say thank you. This has been an amazing spotlight on your journey as not just a business, but an owner as well. I am really grateful for you. And honestly, there's not a lot of business owners that have the mindset that you've got. And quite honestly, we have to take some business owners back to help them learn and discover that mindset before they can really power forward. And it really seems like you have a really good handle on that part of it, which is probably why you chose operational efficiency as the one thing you could change. But I'm really looking forward to learning more about you and Northern Vessel in the future, and to see how your business is just going to take it to the next level.
Thank you so much for having me on. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, please come down to the shop anytime.
Trust me, it's going to happen. This has been Business Spotlight with TJ Rude of Northern Vessel and your host, me, Gabriel Moore with Action Coach Business Coaching. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.